So this is Friday afternoon and I'm just taking a little break from my work in the lodge where I'm writing and doing lots of stuff, just to come out and shoot a little bit of video because I was on my way to the post office earlier, and as I just slowly drove past the pond here on the right, down at the bottom here on the right, I just kind of glanced over and there was so much activity from the frogs that I thought I must just get that on film because it really is delightful to see it. I've decided when this pandemic lockdown is over to get myself a new camera. This one's taken a lot of use, as you can imagine, over the past while because I've been doing, I don't know, I couldn't tell you how many videos I've shot on this camera, how many photographs I've taken. And there's a few things that don't sit right with me. One is the sound of the motor, you know, when I'm using the zoom lens. So I'd like to get something a little bit better. And of course, it will make better videos and better photographs. Okay. Let me see if I can creep up slowly on this little lot because the activity was just crazy. Okay, I'm just going to go slowly. You might be able to hear them. You see? So the frog spawn has increased by about 100%, and it's starting to even get down along the pond here. Now what I want to do, well there's Jack up there, just go down to the original pool, which is what they always used before. See that sort of circular pool over there? I dug that out by hand years and years ago, with the intention of it being a birthing pool, because they do like to have not so much shallow water, I suppose, as water where there's water plants in it, you know. So it's not sort of running away, it's not going to wash away all the spawn. But I can't see anything over there, but I will go and have a closer look. No, I've had a look in the birthing pool and I can't see anything in there yet. But there is this incredible amount of frog spawn now, which is beginning to fill probably about a quarter of the space. I don't think I've ever seen this much. It's truly amazing. Well, there's a huge part of me that just does not know when to stop. Oh, gosh. I'm going to have to go and make myself a cup of tea or coffee or something. Thank goodness I lit the stove before going into town. Now, I did a Facebook Live driving into Carrick. A lot of people are finding that not only interesting but quite comforting in these days of continual, never-ending lockdown. You can drive with me virtually, through the screen, hither and thither. Well, Ballyfarnan to the post office and Carrick to do the shopping. So anyway, I came home. I still have my jacket on. And I thought, I'm quite tired. I just need to sit down. So this is how I roll. Let me just tell you. It's ridiculous. If I was someone else, just, out there in the ether watching me, I'd just be aghast. I'd be saying to myself, what's that woman at now? I came home, come into the cottage, dumped down the shopping, still didn't get those candles. I actually went into the town to get some pillar candles. Anyway, I couldn't get any. Well, I went to one shop, hands up there. I didn't actually go shopping. So put the shopping down in the kitchen. And I thought, okay, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to read a book. But before I do that, I'm going to light the stove. So I pottered out here, went into the barn, sorted out the stuff for the stove, went back in, lit the stove. I thought, okay, I'll just come out here and I don't know what I'll come out for. But I looked at that, hang on. Excuse me. I saw the dust that I'm throwing up as I'm moving things around. So I came out here and I looked at that egg chair that was there, okay. And I said, I don't like that there. And because the rain comes in at an angle underneath the veranda, the cushions are always getting wet. So I thought, okay, I'll move it. So, can you see, I've moved it over there, to that veranda. But before I could move it, I had to take down the washing line. Yes, Jack's looking a bit miffed. He says, what the hell's going on here? Thought I'll take down the washing line first, which I did. So I took down the washing line. You can see clothes pegs hither and thither. And there's the washing line there. And I got the egg chair established there. I thought, that's perfect. A nice wee nook where I can come and read a book. So then I was going back over this way. You see? And I looked at this bed and I thought, oh, for goodness sake, it's becoming quite overgrown. The euphorbia's taken over the lemon balm, and it's taken over the poppy, and it's pushing out the little daffodils, because it does spread, you see, it loves to spread out. So I thought, okay, I'll pull up some of that euphorbia, I'll break off all the dead stuff, Got this wee pile going here. And then I thought, those darn cordylines, they've got far too big for that pot. I need to move them. So where I stopped at this point was, after huffing and puffing and pulling and cursing under my breath, I managed to release the 3 cordylines. That started life as one. I'm sure it started life as one. Anyway, the 3 cordylines from this pot. Now I've got to tidy up the lady's mantle and tidy up the aquilegia, but that's not a big deal. I can do that. So, have I sat down yet? No. Am I going to sit down soon? I'm saying yes, with a big ladle of optimism dumped over the top of it. But, yeah, I think I will have to sit down, because I pulled those out of the pot before I thought of a good place to plant them. Because you know what I do, and you know what I've always done here. which has been a really great way of multiplying plants and getting plants for nothing, is to start them off in pots. And they go from small pot to bigger pot to bigger pot to bigger pot. And then I put them out in the garden. So I've got a couple of little trees here as well, which I'm going to have to do the same thing with. But for the moment, I do have to think about where I'm going to plant these. They are rather gorgeous. Cordylines seem to love this place. So, you know, I'm happy, they're happy. Everything else is happy, why not? So, right, I'm going to go make myself a cup of tea. Come and sit in my egg chair with my latest book about Vivienne Westwood. I adore Vivienne. And somewhere in that space of sitting, reading, drinking tea, I'm going to be thinking of where to put these beautiful cordylines. Right, okay. Sunday morning. Very misty. Was working yesterday. Yes, I got the cordylines replanted. I got them out of that pot. Look, big empty pot. And replanted them over here. So I've sort of built a bed on top of a bed. Yes, looking rather rustic. Need a few more stones in there. But that bed anyway is very much infested with ground elder, so, you know, plant on top of it, why not? I've also put, you know, I keep calling this gorse, and my daughter says, oh, that's not gorse. I said, I know, but as a kid, I remember seeing it in gardens and someone said, oh, gorse, and I've always called it gorse. I've also given the rustic arch a jolly good prune, because I was thinking about replacing that, and then I had a close look, and all this beautiful clematis is so heavily entwined in it, and it's about to burst out into leaf and flower. So I thought, okay, I'm just going to leave it. Just leave it and see if I can't, you know, jazz it up a little bit, make it look a little bit more like an arch. So, just take you around the other side. So I've also tidied up this area here. The old fireplace that I took out of what is now the kitchen, which was the sitting room. So I've sort of wedged that up with a piece of wood, but I'm going to do something a bit more visually acceptable. And that little water fountain was actually a water tap. I never could get hold of a plumber to come and put that on the wall, you know, and replace the outside tap. Despite my best tries, you know, I did kind of ask around time and time again, did anyone know a plumber? And a few people said, oh yes, I'll give so-and-so a call. Yeah, I'm still waiting. So I thought I'd wedge it up there, which I'm still in the process of doing, and I'll put a few little plants in it. My brother Cormac brought me that all the way from London about 3 or 4 years ago. Unfortunately, Cormac wasn't a plumber. He brought it on the bus as well. He kind of turned up at Carrick train station and he had this big trolley and this heavy yoke was on it. But anyway, look, I'm going to make the most of it and just put some cheerful little spring plants into it. So, it's looking a bit better. Now, I will have to move this tree because this could be the year that the roots break through the bottom of that planter and go into the earth, in which case then it's going to be very difficult to get out. So, just standing here, just standing here, once that's moved, it's going to let a lot of the garden in that I can see, you know. Then I was thinking, maybe I should move some of the plants, although not the ones that are, you know, like the fig tree, etc., but some of these plants in pots away from the veranda and sort of open it up more to what is on the other side of the veranda. So that's what I'm thinking at the moment, you know. As always, I will find work to do. It's a beautiful morning. Very, very misty. Beautifully misty. I'll just walk round to the front of the cottage and then you'll be able to see. There's my egg chair now in place. Oh yes, I tried that out yesterday. I sat in it and it was just so wonderful to sit and relax. So maybe that'll be a new feature of my life. Me sitting, relaxing. And the witch hazel continues to bloom. I can't recommend this little shrub enough. Well, little, I think it grows quite big. Because it's stayed in flower for so long now. So I might treat myself to another 1 or 2 hazel shrubs. That was a gift, that one. Because they are quite expensive. So look, it's a misty morning. Beautifully misty. So I've been out with all the bird seed, scattering it hither and thither. Beautiful, isn't it? Such a beautiful morning. Now, I'm going to get those shrubs that have been grown from cuttings into the ground today. There's something else to do. Oh, that was a bit of a humdinger, moving that. Got it onto the trolley. That invaluable little piece of equipment, but it was still quite heavy to kind of move. And of course it's got a huge cotoneaster growing out of the pot as well. Look at this. This was growing around the side of the water barrel. And that was grown from a little cutting that I just stuck in there, you know. So you can see it. It's rather gorgeous. Got to find a home now for this. It shouldn't be too difficult. Noticed on here there's quite a lot of rot on the support. So, I have an idea. I have a little idea, which is to mix up some cement and make a little kind of footing around that. Take it up to maybe about here, you know, build it up with stones and cement, and that should at least stop it from just breaking off. So, it does open up a big vista, totally, doesn't it? He's peeking at me through the ribs. He says, I don't know what you're doing. Neither do I, Jack, but I'm thinking about it as I go along, you know. I've got stage 1 done and I don't know what stage 2 is going to be, but I know it's going to be something. Right. I think I'll leave it there now for today as far as this video is concerned. And I think I'll just crack on with my work. I've got a few projects in mind, and it is Sunday. It is supposed to be a day of rest, but you know, a day of rest for me is a day of doing something which I consider to be restful, that I wouldn't normally get the chance to do. So this was a big job in the promise for, I don't know, past couple of years, I think. It's very interesting just to stand here and see this different vista. Quite exciting too. Okay, so I'll say blessings to you all, and somewhere in the next video you'll see where this beech tree has been planted. It's a beautiful shape because of course I've been pruning it, you know, and keeping it a certain size, but it's time to let it go. Time to let it romp away. Blessings. Oh, okay. I've trolleyed the beech tree with the beautiful Cotoneaster in the same pot down to just beside the pond, and I've sort of embedded it, pot and all, because the pot is beginning to corrode, and the roots will just come through that now, I'd say. And I've moved this little oh gosh, what's the name of it? Can't think, I'm so tired now. I've trolleyed that in the pot over there. And yeah, very different. I've moved the wind chimes as well over there. It does look very different, and yeah, I think it looks quite good actually. So, you see, this is what happens. You actually start with moving one thing and it leads on to a whole series of moves. It's like playing chess. You can't just start on the board and move one, you know, pawn and then leave it and think that that's it. No, you've got to continue to the end. So I think I'm almost at the end of this moving process. And in a strange way, although I'm very tired now, and I'm going to definitely go and have a cup of tea, I feel very invigorated, because you see, it's changed things and the energy has changed, and yeah, I'm invigorated.